Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night on the Homestead. Tonight's topic is hunting for food for your family. All right, so let's get over here. And I'm by myself tonight. People have a hard time getting here, so I guess. I do have one guest who may show up about halfway through. Anthony from Pimento Prepared. And I froze. He's picking up his cousin right now at the airport, and he said he might be back in time to catch the last half of it and come up here and share some of his hunting experience. With that said, since I'm kind of short here, if there is anyone in the chat here who is an avid hunter who wants to come up, let me know as soon as I do roll call, and then I will get the link out to you, and you come up here and help me talk about stuff. So let's do roll call first, and then we'll get into the main topic of it. All right, so first one here was Dream XD, my grandnephew, CR, Creative Redundancy, Hugo Homestead, Andrew Barker, Digs Outdoors, Butch at Sand Hollow Homestead, Talking Country Homestead Preacher, Stringfield Ridge Farm, Trish Wiley, Tasha at Prep For It. And let's see, Mary Beth Smith, Shady Hill Homestead, Backwoods Law. He's getting, Bruce went to get some coffee. Oh, Suburban Hillbilly, Purple Tea Bear, Lord Gardener Josh. Now, he's the Lord because he's Lord of the Gourd. He won the Gourd contest. And they're getting, all right. Make sure I'm not skipping over anybody. Uncle Al at Die Bullfrog 79. Bug Out Basics. Idaho Garden Girl. All right. Everyone's talking. Emma 3010. Elaine Skinner, and Getting Started in Homesteading. And I think that's it. We're caught up. So that's everybody's commenting. Probably have a few people that just, watching from the shadows. That's fine. You don't have to comment. You can just watch and learn something, hopefully. So anyone that's out there that is a hunter other than using a rifle. Okay. Other than using a rifle, I want you, if you can, I want you to come on up here and join me up here. Hey, gunslinger. So while people are trying, if anyone wants to decide whether or not they want to come up here and share what they know about bow hunting, whatever else it is, I'm going to run the slideshow here. Michelle P's here as well. Tibor is here. Oh, let's get over here to this. Right. Boom. There we go. So hunting for food for your family. All right. So basically we're talking about you're the hunter-gatherer going out there and getting food to eat. Now, usually you talk about hunting, the first thing pops in people's minds, I got my freedom stick here, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to bring in all the food I need with my freedom stick. Well, what about if you're in a situation where you don't want that freedom stick to make its pow noise and alert everybody in the area, someone got a deer, let's go steal it from them. Or someone got something, let's go get it. You want to be, and you're trying to be stealthy about it. So you're not going to be using something that makes a loud noise. You want to be quiet. So that's what we're going to be talking about here. Will at JIT Preparedness Info just joined us. So the thing we're talking about here, all right, so you look out and there's a bunch of deer. I can't use my rifle to get the deer. How am I going to get the deer? A bow. People have been hunting with bows for a lot longer than we've had rifles. And And bow hunting is really big, especially it is growing very, very fast with the ladies. Now, what if you can't hold a bow steady? You're not going to be standing there, stretching back a little bit. Come on, deer, step out a little bit farther, a little bit farther. I want to let the arrow fly. Come on, step out a little bit farther. And you have to let it down, and your movement of relaxing because you can't hold it any longer spooks the your target off. Well, crossbows. They're a great equalizer for strength. Aim it just like you can a rifle, but it's quiet. All right, and let's see, take it on the next one. So, but what if you're going after something really small? Well, you could still hunt, small animals with a bow. And a lot of people, there you go. I've heard several people mention traps. So here you go. We're starting to get into traps. That's another way to hunt quietly. And snares. I mean, you read just about any survival novel out there, and they're setting up snares to catch a rabbit or a squirrel or something else to eat. Hey, Courtney. All right. All right. The figure 4 dead drop is another trap you can use. And let me go back there. This is one you can even use inside the city if you need to, because squirrels are all over the place in the residential areas of cities, especially where it's been established for a while and they got big trees. There's a lot of squirrels. Look, I'm getting my tongue tied here. So, quiet trap like that. And then there's the slingshot. And don't put the slingshot down. The slingshot has come a long ways from the piece of wood that we used to have as kids with a couple rubber bands on it. These things can hit as hard as a 22. Oh, but I got a lake nearby. We're just going to go fishing, and we're going to do it. And what happens if while you're trying to fish, you bump something and whoop, your fishing pole just went into the water? What other ways can you catch fish that are relatively quick and easy? Well, if you got a bow, you can bow fish. And one of the other ones here, spears. Spear fishing is big around the world. Oh, good point. Backing up here. Gunslinger Outdoors said you can use a rat trap as well for catching, squirrels and other. Actually, we caught one in a rat trap a couple of years ago. And okay, Tibor says his slingshot is a 50-pound pole. It's a beast. All right, gear grinding actually has a good idea here. If I can get it come up here. The old crank military phones put out a good charge. You drop 2 lines off the phone into the puddle, the creek, stream, part of the lake there, and you start cranking it up. You're going to jolt a few fish to the surface. Hey, Dave, Southern Ohio Prep. Dave, didn't you get the link? If not, okay, I just dropped the link in here in case you didn't get it. Any hunter or anybody else out there that uses other things other than gunpowder, there's the link again. I'd like to have you guys come up here and share your hunting experiences and how well you've done with it. So let's go here. So spear fishing, and spears can be used for other type of hunting as well. It's actually making a comeback to spear hunt for wild pigs. All right, Dave. There's the link in the chat there. In a This is a delicate one, folks. In a total collapse, like we were talking about the last hour on Backwoods outdoor. Backwoods law. Getting tongue tied here. We're talking about you survived the event and how you doing. Well, hey, in certain cases, if you have access to it, that might get yourself some fish as well. All right, just catching up on the chat here. Oh, there you go. Tibor has it there with that one. Frog gigs. Like a spirium, gig yourself some frogs. All right, there, I'm unfrozen. So you got spears for that. All right, now this is something I really hadn't thought about much, but when I was looking up stuff, different ways to do things, is that denying is going on in the side chat. I've found out that there are a lot of traps for larger game out there. Here, going after some deer, some bigger ones, and this one here is actually used by the Department of Forestry for trying to tag deer, so they can do it. They catch the deer alive. They put the tracker on and turn the deer loose. But you can also use it to capture an animal, and then you can begin the process. And this is one from over in France they use for catching deer that are pests in an area. They set it up with bait in there and get the deer coming in there, and they drop the trap on them, and then they either dispatch them or relocate them. And let's see what else next. Oh, okay. Here's a homemade version out there in the woodlands for catching some of them. All right, Dream. Yeah, you can do that, but unless you've been hunting, I know you want to come up here with your uncle, but hey, yeah, StreamYard is what this is set up on. That's what I use for the live streams here. And the link takes you to StreamYard. All right, so you can build on it. That's all I have there on that. Let's go back here. So let's see what's going on in the side chat. Read some of the conversations going on here. Okay, I'm looking in the green room. I don't see anything going on in the green room here. All righty. Okay, Gary got grinding. All right, so yeah, and I know that trying to think who it was. I just lost his. Oh man, he's one of the channels. I just having a brain fart here. One of the channels I follow. Here's Dave. One of the channels I follow. It's not 9 to 5 Life Off Grid. It's oh crud. He's the deputy sheriff. His wife does a fantastic woodworking. Has an amazing shop. Oh, I can't think of his name. Can't think of his name right now. Anyways, he has several videos out of the portable hog corrals. He goes out and helps clear hogs off of his neighbors and associated people's properties. Now, the one thing I haven't talked about, which is Dave's area of expertise, is because he's been doing a lot of videos on it and showing how well it works and how well he can use it, is the pre-charged pneumatics. So, Dave, you want to speak a few words about pre-charged pneumatics and the things you've been able to do with them?
Few words, pre-charged pneumatics, able to shoot shit.
All right, so you got a 25 caliber Hatsan?
25 caliber Hatsan flash pop.
All right.
And it's strong enough, if proper shot placement, it will take down a deer.
Okay.
But if you can't hit the target, then it's worthless.
Right.
So whether you're using slingshot, crossbow, bow and arrow, rifle, pre-charged pneumatic, practice is key.
Yeah. And how loud is your pre-charged
Mine's
pneumatic?
quiet.
Yeah.
I live in an area where you're not allowed to shoot BB guns, and it has not triggered the shot caller. There is a shot caller, and if people don't know what that is a system set up by police departments to pick up shots, so they can triangulate and show up on scene.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't trigger it.
Now I know you you got the aftermarket kit to make it even quieter.
Uh-huh.
Before that, would that have?
No, it was already quiet. See, the average shot is around 150 decibels right next to the barrel. The further out you get, the quieter it gets. Okay. The average shot is a lot louder than your ears can handle out of a 9. Anything bigger, it's a lot louder. Okay. This, when I got it, was at 70, well, it's like something like 78 decibels, and I'm down to 68. So it's not much louder than a clap. If you listen to the videos with the camera that's on the rifle itself, all you hear is the action. You don't hear the actual shot taking place.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but a lot of the stuff I was showing here, what's your opinion of the
shot spotter? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was your thoughts on some of the stuff I showed around here for you to use in the area where you live at?
Oh, I just happened to realize what time it was and dropped in.
No, I saw you. So you didn't catch the slideshow?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. So, basically, what I was showing was covering the different things. Starting off. Well, I know you have a crossbow. So
150 pound, and I also have an 80 pound.
Right. Would you be comfortable using that for rabbits or squirrels, or will you just stick with the hat sand?
For rabbits and squirrels, I'll use a hat sand.
Okay. And you don't have anything.
Crossbows inherently are, while they can be accurate, they have a tendency to, if they're even a minute little bit off, they're going to graze the target and you'll lose your arrow and the critter's going to run away.
Yeah.
Unless you're using a broadhead, which I do have 2 types of. But I'm not going to waste a broadhead and an arrow, or bolt, as the actual terminology is for it, on a rabbit or a squirrel. I'll use a hat sand.
Right. And you don't see any, you're so far into the city, you don't see any deer or anything else like that around.
I ain't that far in the city.
You ain't that far in the city?
No, actually, I got to just walk down the road a little ways, and there's a nice little area of woods that has deer. So, like the other apartment I was in, where I could literally look out the front door and see deer, this one I got to walk a little ways.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw up Tibor's comment here.
Yeah. True.
So, okay.
This also puts out, what was it? 49.8 foot-pounds of energy out the muzzle. Okay, that's just shy of what the military has deemed as lethal, which is 51 foot-pounds of energy.
Okay. There he is. Okay. He dropped out again. My grandnephew's trying to get his device to work to come up here. So, any guys, if you don't have a rifle, so this is for the side chat, everybody. You don't have a rifle of any kind. What would be your preferred way to try to get some food for where you are at now? All right. And what would be your preferred food to go after? And not the dairy cow down the road.
No, that farmer's probably got a rifle bigger than yours.
Yeah. And he don't care about making a little bit of noise. because he's probably going to be making a whole bunch of it just to keep everybody out away from it. Okay, here we go.
Correct.
Okay.
Because everybody and their uncle, thanks, Tibor, everybody and their uncle is going to be out trying to get deer. Only the prudent will be going after squirrel. It takes a lot less to prep it for food. You can bag a lot more of them if you know how to set up a trap. And if you're good at it, you can fill your freezer in no time. Mm-hmm. If you want to see the most effective way to do it, go find a channel called Ed Gun Leshy. I don't think Gil really wants to put that up here because every rabid little Karen and their sister is going to fly to his channel and strike him down, and he'll be on YouTube's baby list for a month or two, and you don't need that. But if you want to see how effective, and he does use 25 calibers at harvesting pests, then go check out Ed Gun Leshy.
Okay, we got Joseph Patton, my nephew, joined us, and we have Carol. I didn't see Carol come in before, so Carol, Fishes Loves Lives, and we have Julie at Heaven's Essentials is here.
There's Steve.
Corsair Trainers. Just going to eat the neighbor's got spices.
Spoken like a true pirate.
Marine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, private chat. What's this say here? Yeah. Okay. Coming back to the regular chat. Okay. Yeah. Around here, I'm in a weird predicament here. Where I'm at, there's a bunch of squirrels around. There's certain birds I could take down. There's a lot of other small game and stuff, but there's a lot of people around here that raise beef cows and will trade off beef for vegetables and other stuff that I can grow around here. But probably the easiest thing for me to hunt would be my daughter's chickens.
I don't think she's gonna like that.
Well, it might be all right. It's time to get rid of this turkey. Take him out. And she has some turkeys as well. Idaho Garden Girl says quail, and yes, there are quail in Idaho, as well as pheasant. And
the thing with your smaller game birds is, let's say feces hits the oscillating device and everybody is out hunting, they're going to be one of the most hard to find because they're going to be so skittish, because all they're going to hear is bang, bang, pew, pew all over the place. Those birds will hide in their little burrows. So unless you got a good coon dog, which I don't, that's the last item I'm going to be looking for. Now, if I'm out hunting and I see one, yeah, it's on the dinner table, but I'm not going to search for those because they're a very skittish bird to begin with.
T-Bone Snake River's about half a mile that way. So yeah, there would be fishing going on, but everybody's going to be hitting the Snake River for fish.
Mm-hmm. And unless you're at the head of it, you're only getting the scraps from everybody else.
Yeah. Mary Beth says her rabbits and squirrels, yards full of them. Yeah, they're full of them until you take the first one down.
Unless you go and set up a table for one, as on Ed Gun Leshy. And if it got to the point where, let's say, I had to feed us via rodentia, I would set up a table for one. It would have a nice little backdrop behind it, and that way I don't have to worry about errant projectiles going places they shouldn't. They will stop, they will grab a bite to eat, and then they'll become my dinner. I'm not going to go, like I say, I can't go into a whole lot of detail because I don't want Gil to get a strike.
Yeah, there's so yeah, all right, hang on. Tibor's got stuff. So we got a flowing source for fish and frogs. Every animal needs to drink water. Yeah, I know. There he is. Good. All right. He's trying to come back in now. My grandnephew's trying to come in, but waiting for it to show his face here before I bring him up. It's trying to connect. The device is trying to connect this camera still. So that's why I keep on looking down here and looking over here.
Well, Steve, if I was so inclined, I have lots here too. And unfortunately, there's also a lot of drug addicts around here. So those are not desirable.
Yeah. This is where population plays in my favor. Lots of Steve's still going cannibal on us.
Hey, a little bit of Creole season or Cajun seasoning. Hey, you might have a meal there.
Yeah. Hey, grilling, chilling with Mojo. How's it going? But yeah, I would think possibly the easiest thing that everyone can do out here, and
let's freeze.
Froze. Yeah, let's freeze. Tasha was talking about archery, and snares and stuff. But archery is probably the easiest thing for people to get into.
Yeah, because if you find straight enough sticks, you can make your own arrows.
Yeah.
You can make your own bow. You can use paracord if you have a strong enough bow to create one with. You can use a CB antenna, fiberglass, to create one. I've done it. I've had a video. I think I still got a video of it up. So, I mean, you can take certain ordinary items. If you have a heat gun, you can make a PVC bow. There's YouTube channels out there that have made them. So bow and arrow is by far the easiest one to make.
Okay. Dream is saying I can't add you until you connect your microphone and camera. So on your phone, go ahead and engage your microphone and camera. You're up there for a second and you disappeared before I could click on you. The CR says PVC and fiberglass rods. So certain tent rods, you get enough of them bound together, you're going to have a nice bow. The other thing, though, which we've kind of, on the chat, you're talking about the river and stuff, fishing gear. You don't want to have just one fishing pole. And I'm trying to remember what it's called. Where you put out a line and you got a bunch of different hooks on it and just put it out there all day and you gather up in the evening, you pull all the fish in. Yeah. And so you can fish for multiple fish at one time, put it out there, go do other stuff, come back several hours later, pull it in, and you have fish. Hey, Mountain Grandma.
Bruce brings up a valid point.
They get up there, yeah.
So I'll tell you what, as somebody who's shot a plethora of items that go pew and phew, if you don't maintain it, you might as well not even try it. Yeah. If you plan on using that as a hunting item or a defensive item, practice makes perfect. And you need to continue your practice.
Yeah. Now, one of the things here I cannot condone or encourage anybody to do, this is just commenting on some of the videos I have seen on YouTube. I am no way encouraging or endorsing this factor. Is these little devices that go on the end of the pew and you screw on an oil
moderator
thing on there.
You're talking about a fill trap.
Yeah.
It's so you can, when you clean it, it drains all the oil so you can contain it. Do not add an extra hole to the end of it.
Yeah.
Because that will find you sitting in front of a federal judge facing about 15 years.
Yeah. So, but if we're in a total situation like we were discussing last hour at Backwoods Law, we're coming out of the event, the apocalyptic events, and there's no law enforcement around. I'm not condoning it. The artistic prepper is here. Hey.
If you happen to have one of those little filter traps, just, it's an option. Just don't add the extra hole until there is no chance of law ever coming back.
Yeah. Let's see here. One of the things that I didn't have in the slideshow, and I'm surprised Uncle Al hasn't been firing it off there in the side there, an atlatl.
Actually, it was mentioned.
It was? I missed it? Okay.
Yes, I do believe Digger's the one that mentioned it about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, I guess.
Okay.
It was right after I came in.
Thank you, Emma, for reminding me about that. My grandmother grew up bordering on an Indian reservation in northern Idaho. And what they traded with the Indians so much, the Indians would take them out with them to go net fishing at the falls. And they'd pick up a lot of salmon there, but because they went with the Indians and were under their, whatever you want to call it, they were allowed to net fish with the Indians. They couldn't net fish by themselves. And so that's, net fishing in a river, unless you're a Native American, is not allowed. But they net fish out in the ocean, which is a totally different being a hill of beans or whatever you want to call it, or ball of wax. Or
hold on, Julie, I'm trying to see if I can't find it.
Yeah,
pretty sure I saved it a while back.
Yeah, there is a basically we're talking about. It can be any filter you want to put on it, but it's a device that attaches to the end of the firearm, and then they pour their clean solvent in there. And it's supposed to catch it in the fuel filter, the spin-on fuel filter. Well, people have found out in the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms goes, that's illegal. If you leave the filter on there and you discharge it, it makes a sound, and that's it.
Well, it takes a little bit more work than just adding a hole to the end of it, but that's the basic principle, yes.
Yeah. And there's actually one channel, a YouTube video out there on it, where they put it on there, didn't have the hole in it, and the first shot put the hole in it. But those are one of those things you can. There's all sorts of different ones out there, and there's even ones that have all the little things in it, baffles in it that trap all the sediment. Yeah, but they don't have it's got a solid end in it, but also has the end can screw off, and you can put an end that has a hole in it on there as well. But those are also, once you start using it with that piece on it, then it becomes a classified as a silencer, and they want to have you charge you a tax stamp on it and everything else. Hey, Cecilia, got Raven Cat Homestead here.
Here you go. Let me clear that off the screen.
Okay, there we go. Add to screen. Yeah, that's one of the more fancy ones. Yeah.
I will not tell you how to improve its efficiency either.
Yeah.
But there is a way to improve the efficiency of these traps.
Yeah. But, like I say, it's when you add that extra hole in the other end, a piece on it, then it becomes something else.
Yep.
If I can find something here real quick on this. See what shows up here. Okay, here we go. So these are the ones I'm talking about, like this thing right here.
Half 28 thread.
It screws, and there it is inside the oil filter. And yeah, they screw right onto the end of there we go. Ooh, yeah, that's
Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. There is several YouTube channels who have appropriate tax stamps to do the testing to do this. And
Right.
they proved that right there that you have the highlighted picture of is about effective as putting a pillow in front of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make much of a difference.
Yeah. But the bolt action, one guy did it with a bolt action. I saw it, and it made it had a bigger filter on it, and it made a big difference.
Oh, yeah. But that little teeny one right there isn't going to do any good other than stick a pillow in front of it. You got the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you get the long ones like I showed, in which you're right above that picture, right there, matter of fact, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You see how it's got the spring in there?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to do that. I can't say it. But that right there will make a much bigger difference.
Yeah. And
Then it traps
there are
the
channels
gases.
out there that do put that out.
Yeah, there's like 4 other channels. If you put in solvent filter in YouTube's search engine, you will probably find Guns and Gear did one. I think Mac did one. MAC, that's Military Arms Channel.
Yeah.
There's a guy up in Michigan that did a video on it. And they all say the same thing. If you do not have a tax stamp, don't do it.
Yeah, you will get in trouble. Now, so I was open to show the big one here. They actually did one. Here's one with a bigger filter on it. But the one guy had I think it was about 10, 12-inch filter off of a Caterpillar
right
hydraulic.
Look at the little blue filter where your mouse is. Yes.
There we go. There's the longer one. Yeah.
Something that long might actually make a difference.
Yeah.
The problem is that's not designed to do what an actual suppressor does.
Yeah.
That's just got a bunch of paper in it and some metal out the end of it. Actual suppressor takes and captures the gases that are propelling your projectile and stops most of the gases from actually escaping the end of it, which is what quiets it down. You still have to worry about subsonic and sonic ammunition.
Right.
If you're going to go with the 223 and you want to use a suppressor, you have to go with subsonic rounds. Otherwise, they're still going to hear the crack of the projectile reaching sonic speed. Anything over 1,200 feet per second is sonic. Below 1190 is subsonic.
Yeah. And there's, and even when it comes to the pre-charged pneumatics, some of the pre-charged pneumatics are putting out speeds above sonic. So you're going to get the crack on it. And some of them, you talk about how they adjust it down, the pressure down on the regulator, so that when it goes, it's going out at subsonic.
Yep. Golrot's Maccabee speed. He has a couple of them. Matter of fact, he has a 25 caliber that the pellet reaches. It borders between sonic and subsonic speeds.
Yeah. I know Moose at Air Guns of Michigan was testing one of his subscribers' rifles. The subscriber bought a rifle, had it shipped to Moose, and for Moose to do a test on it and review of it before he sent it on to him. And that was the Umarex Gauntlet 2, and it was kicking out at 995 constant.
Right, that's subsonic, but still,
yeah,
you're going to hear the crack out of the end of the barrel.
Yeah. So, so those are one of the things. But at the crack at the end of the barrel, that's not going to be as loud as a 223.
I don't know. Look at that 50 cal that Maccabee's got, or that Zeus, the 72 caliber.
The Zeus, that would be.
It echoes. It's like hearing a 50 Barrett going off.
Yeah, it's a monster. But so there's other ways to hunt. Traps. We talked about traps and snares. Oh, one of the ones I didn't show a picture of because I knew I'd get nailed on if I showed the picture of it. The little snare that I showed for the catching the rabbits and stuff. Well, they actually make snares for catching moose, elk. Well, not so much moose in certain season, but elk, deer. So they go running down the trail and catch in a snare, and And so now
Could go all Vietnamese on them too.
yeah.
If you
And
don't know
they
what that
showed,
means, I'm sorry. I'm not going into it here.
yeah, they showed some pictures of that too when I was, but I didn't want to bring those up. But there is a lot of ways to get meat on the table other than using a noisemaker, whether it's fish or whether it's four-legged critters out there. You got the bow, crossbow, snares. You got traps and cages you can use. There's, a lot of different ways you can be very ingenious about it. And like Joseph said earlier, start prepping now and practicing now, because after SHTF, it's going to be too late to try to learn, because there's going to be a learning curve for you in learning how to hunt with these things.
Did you see your private chat?
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Jug lines, seeing a lot of spring traps, snares. Yeah. Natasha's talking about that too. I was hoping some other guys out here, anyone out here that has hunted using using other things. Don't forget rabbit stick. Oh, and I forgot, from the land down under, the boomerang. But
that takes a little bit of practice.
Takes a bit of practice. Yeah.
I'm not very good at it.
Okay.
When you throw it, it comes back and smacks you in the back of the head. That's not quite being very good at it.
Yeah. Okay. Using yucca to paralyze fish. Okay, Tasha, you're going to have to explain that one. That sounds interesting. That sounds like the yucca plant, from the desert. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is if you're thinking about other ways, because if you need to save your freedom seeds to defend your place, you're going to want to use another way to actually do hunting. So, Carol. Oh, okay. Hey, Laura, Hedgehog Farms. Hedgehog Homestead. Well, when they get out there, back there to Tennessee, they're going to have themselves a farm, all right. 160 acres. I'm so jealous.
That's why I have multiple ways to hunt.
Yeah.
I don't stick with just one item, and I make sure I'm proficient with each one. That way, should I run out of ammo for a minute for one, I still have an alternate means of doing so.
Yeah. Or if you just want to be really quiet. Hey, Conrad Homestead.
Yeah, the common misconception is that slingshots are quiet. Not if they're powerful.
Yeah.
Because you can still get the sonic crack like you would off a whip off your more powerful slingshots.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, the main thought process for this live was to get everybody out there thinking, what can I use that won't draw attention to me?
Oh, don't blame me for any of that, Fish. Or, I mean, Julie, don't blame me for any of that. No. Nope.
Yeah.
I take no responsibility for any of that.
Yeah, me neither. So the thing is to think about what you can do to get more meat on the table. If it, all right, so it's not a major, SHT event. Suppose it's just a major food supply snafu. And all of a sudden your grocery store doesn't have any meat products coming in. Yeah, you don't need to have meat to survive. You can supplement other types of protein. But there's just something so comforting about eating meat, whether it's turkey, chicken, pork, bacon, steak, bacon, fish, bacon. Oh, sorry, got bacon on the brain.
Well, you quit talking about bacon seeds now. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to make French toast tomorrow with bacon.
Oh, T-board doesn't crack, but it definitely sends steel with a zing sound. Yeah, you'll get that vibration of it going down, as it flies sometimes. But you can get that even with an arrow too. The sound of an arrow in flight. But that's not going to travel a long way. That's not going to alert somebody a quarter mile away. Hey, somebody just fired off a shot over there. And that's one of the things in certain things you've got to be aware of, is that, you don't want to draw attention to yourself. If you bring down a deer, you want to bring it down quietly and not, have everybody knowing, oh, someone's shooting at something over there. Let's go see what sort of game he's got over there. All right. So we're, okay. Is Josh taking off, or are you saying goodnight to someone?
Let me see.
I see if someone else is leaving. Well, whoever's leaving, thanks for coming by. Have a good night.
I am looking for something real quick.
Tibor, I tried that one as a teenager too. I just could not, get it down. Yeah. And actually tying on to what Bruce was talking about earlier, in part of it, on his live stream, as part of the event of, people from the cities evacuating the cities and heading to the country. You're going to get people coming out to your area if you're out in the, decent area like I am. That all of a sudden you may get an influx. Of course, to get to on my side of Idaho, they got to go through a lot of open country to get here. But there's going to be an influx of people trying to get the meat that's out there in the wild. Yeah, Emma, I did know that. And some of those guinea pigs they raise get big.
Okay, I found it.
The worst thing I had on it, Tebow, when I was trying the old David and Goliath sling, I let it go and it whip around and come back and smack me.
Okay, I found what I was looking for.
Okay, let's put that right there.
For those who have slingshots, and you want to make them a little bit more powerful, get yourself some TheraBand. These are exercise bands, and they come in different colors. If you have good, strong arms, and it comes in the tubular type as well, gold or black are what you're looking for. If you're not used to using them and you want to practice, then get one of the lighter colors. Okay, and you can get them off Amazon. I'll go right here and show you. But these are what you want to get, TheraBand. And I get that information from a guy who does a lot of slingshots, and that's the Slingshot channel, Jorg Sprav. He's the one that recommends TheraBand, not because he's sponsored by him, not because they give him anything. It's because it lasts, it works, and it doesn't break down like your other standard stuff. So if you want to make your own slingshot, then get TheraBand. And he's got videos on his channel, the Slingshot channel, that will tell you how to cut the bands, how to double them or triple them. I made my own. I've actually got a video of it somewhere where I made my own using TheraBand, and it had an 80-pound pull.
Oof.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's rough. And I could pull it full stretch. Now, unfortunately, mine is not working at the moment. I have to get some more TheraBand because what I had was old. And I never took care of it, so that was on me. I didn't realize I was going to make a slingshot when I bought it.
Yeah.
I used it for exercise. But this is the kind of stuff you want to get right here, TheraBand.
Okay, Dig says he has a show on the Outdoor Channel as well.
Yeah. But if you want to learn how to make one, go watch the Slingshot channel.
Pop this up over here real quick. All right. Okay. Okay, we're getting to the top of the hour here. Going to wrap it up here with some announcements for coming attraction stuff coming up. So on Tuesday, Dave, do you have a topic yet for Tuesday?
Maybe, not sure yet.
Still working on it. Okay, so 9 o'clock Eastern time, Southern Ohio prepping.
If you're so inclined, come on by.
Yeah, I'll be over there with Dave. Then after that, on Tactical Tuesday, I'm going to change up my order here on some stuff here. No, Tactical Tuesday is going to stay the same. We're going to talk about winterizing your first aid kit, because there's certain things you want to have in there, especially in your car, your first aid kit in your car, where it stays out there and it gets some freezing temperatures. Of course, Steve's going to make a crack about it doesn't get cold in California.
Never.
But in certain areas, you don't want to have the stuff in your first aid kit, the creams and stuff freezing up on you. So
my best suggestion for your first aid kit in the wintertime is don't leave it in your car.
Yeah. But you got to remember, have it by the door, so you take it from there to your car every time. So that's what's on.
It's like American Express. It's just like American Express. You never leave home without it.
And yep. And let's see. So that's Tactical Tuesday. Next Friday here, I'm going to be switching it up here. I'm going to be talking about heating for your livestock, which includes chickens, turkeys, goats, cows, pigs, whatever you have. We're going to talk about heating for them so they don't get affected this winter. Yeah, okay. Fisher says I have a fire in the wood, so do I. In fact, we got a fire going right now. In fact, I probably need to get out there and stoke it up because that's just the cold stuff.
See, I kind of feel bad for Julie because it goes from hotter than the Dickens to sometimes pretty dang cold out there.
Yep.
Because she's only got a limited amount of time where she can make soap.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So that's what's coming up next week here. And then, of course, Bruce, unless on Backwoods Law, unless he comes up with another general topic like he did tonight, it's going to be an open forum for whatever's going on around right now. So that's what's coming up here. And we're going to wrap it up here now, folks. And I just want to remind everybody, hey, no matter what's going on in the world right now, try to keep an uplifted demeanor about it.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Stop with the hate. If you consider yourself a Christian, spread love, peace, and hope. If you spread that from yourself to other people, nothing else will bother you.
And maybe they'll get infected and spread it too.
Exactly. Because you know what? Sometimes giving a smile and saying, have a blessed day, can take somebody's bad day, turn it around, and then they're going to spread happiness to the next person. You never know. You might be able to change a community.
All right, Joseph, are you still there in the chat? Are you still there on the side chat? Your son is saying that you bought half a steer. Did you buy it or trade for it? Give him a few seconds to answer that one up.
You did get some soap made? Awesome heavens.
Cool.
Still waiting on mine.
Yeah, he's here. I'm just waiting for him to answer Dream.
Yes, he is here. He bought it.
He says he bought it. Okay, he paid cash. Okay. Hey, Joseph, I bet you could have gotten a whole cow here in Idaho for what you spent for the half a cow down there in California.
I'm not worried about it, Julie. The extra stuff that I originally was going to buy is no longer needed. I don't know where I'd send it now.
Alrighty. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up here now. And thank
Yeah,
everyone
actually,
for
I
coming.
do. I know something.
Okay.
Get with me later, Heavens. If you get a chance, we'll discuss it on Discord.
Okay. Well, that's it too, guys. Dave has a great Discord channel with a lot of information out there. You can download a lot of information for free, PDFs on all sorts of cool things.
Everything from
Manuals
animal
and everything
husbandry
else.
to beekeeping to canning to first aid. I've got a full library of Doc Bones and Nurse Amy's videos stored on there as well. So if something happens to one of their sites because they decide to move it somewhere, there's still access to their stuff.
Yeah. All righty, folks. We're going to wrap it up now. Have a good evening. Stay safe, and we will see you next time around.